Guys, we are so dry out here at Piney Grove that I'm finding that I'm spending so much time watering that I'm not getting a lot of other things done. We've got a fair-sized garden, and in order to keep that healthy, we have to water that. Nothing is on automatic sprinklers, and so everything has to be hand watered. So I hand watered the garden this morning at 6 a.m. I just planted that grapefruit tree and put water around that, so my tote has almost 275 gallons of water minus what I just put around that grapefruit tree. But I've got 9 magnolias, 18 blueberries, 2 peaches, 2 pears, and 2 plums to water, and it's going to take every bit of what's in that water tote. And I got to do it every 3 or 4 days just to keep things healthy, because we're full of blueberries and we don't want to lose the crop. So our hearts go out to farmers in the region. We grow a lot of cotton around here. We grow a lot of corn. We grow a lot of peanuts, and everybody's just waiting for the rain, and it's just not coming. And seems like Piney Grove is like in this vortex, because a couple weeks ago, the town to the east of us and the town to the north of us got a ton of rain, and it all like started south of us, parted over top of us, and then regrouped north of us. So it's not only dry in the region, but it's really dry out here at Piney Grove. If you're a regular watcher of the channel, you've seen this rig in use before, but I've made modifications along the way because I found I had to put out way more water than I thought initially. So I have a 12-volt pump mounted on here. It connects directly to the battery of the tractor. I've got 2 alligator clips here, and it can also go to a UTV. It can go to a pickup truck. If you're looking to build yourself with what I call a water buffalo or irrigation tank or whatever, you don't need a trailer, you don't need a tractor for it. A lot of this stuff, this could be in the bed of a pickup. This could be in the bed of your UTV if it can hold that much weight. And if it can't, you just don't fill it as full. But this is a used IBC tote that I got off Facebook Marketplace. It had a non-toxic clarifier, water clarifier in it. So it's safe for plants and everything, but you don't want to drink the water that's in here. It's not potable water. And you got to be careful when you're buying IBC totes, because a lot of people will call them food grade, because this is food grade, but that does not mean you can drink the water in it. If I was going to get one that I was going to drink the water from, I would just buy a new one from Tractor Supply. They're even on Amazon. And I will link the video to where I built this with the 12-volt pump. And I also put links down below, because everything that you're going to see today is stuff I bought from Amazon. But what I found was, last year I put out 3 of these totes, 1,000 gallons of water or so, and it took me all day, like a whole 8-hour day, because I was using this 12-volt pump and there's not a lot of volume there. So I got what I needed to get watered, but it just took way too much time. So then I bought this Pacer 2.5 horsepower 1-inch pump. It's the only 1-inch pump I could find out there. I did not want a 2-inch pump. I already have a 2-inch trash pump, and it's just too hard to carry 2-inch hose when you're doing, minor irrigation of a small orchard like this. And I didn't want to deal with that. So I found this. Pacer makes good pumps. It was on Amazon, I think $275, $300, something like that. I bought it, and been nothing but pleased with it. It starts easy. It runs great. It's easy on fuel. And right now I have it adapted down to 3/4. I got a 3/4 inlet line coming from the IBC tote, and I had to fabricate this PVC adapter here to go from 1-inch to 3/4. So it could do more volume. It's just I haven't hooked up the 1-inch line yet. I've got a part on order from Amazon, put it on order last night. And then I'm coming out to a 3/4 hose, or a regular 5/8 garden hose, because again, I use this a lot, and I bought a real big heavy duty 1-inch hose, and it's just cumbersome. I had a 1-inch lay flat hose, and that kinks a lot. So I've come up with a lot of improvements through experience. It's not anything that requires, tons of water knowledge, pump knowledge. You hook it up to the IBC tote with adapters you can readily buy on Amazon, and then you can water your garden, your plants around your house. This is not only a remote watering system for us, because I have no water anywhere here that I could bring a hose to. But also it's easier on my well because I can fill this up and water the garden where I do have a garden hose, and the well only turns on once when I fill this up. And the well at 20 gallons per minute fills up this almost 300 gallon tank pretty quick. And then I turn the well off and I water with this, and I control it a lot better. I don't waste as much water, and I don't cycle my pump, and I'll get more years out of my well pump because well pumps are about $1,800. So we want them to last as long as possible. I think I mentioned this in a different video, but this pump came with the choke mislabeled. So when you thought the choke was on, it was off, and vice versa. And I couldn't get it to run good for the first day I had it, but then I switched the sticker on the choke, and hasn't been running a few days. Let's see how she starts up. It also has a fuel shut off, so you can shut off gas to the carburetor if you're going to store it. But here we go. I got it choked right now. Oh, it also has an on-off switch, and it's on. That's good. So right now I have no water output. I've got this turned off on this little cheap spray nozzle. If I turn it on at idle, I just get a little bit of water. Then when I crank it up, I can put out a lot of water with this thing. So let's not waste it. So we're starting off with about 270-ish gallons because I used a little bit already. We're just going to go up to each one of these blueberry plants, give it some water, go on down the line, come back, let it soak in, come back, hit it again. And this generally this tank will do the whole orchard. But when I was using the electric pump, you would have to count, I think, to 30 seconds, and you would get, I forget, 2 gallons of water or something like that. And this is pushing, I think, close to 10 gallons per minute. But boom, that blueberry bush has enough water to survive a week. I'll go to the next one. And the pump is running wide open. It's got a relatively small fuel tank, but it probably can do 2 IBC totes, maybe 3, before you have to put any fuel in it. And it's 4-stroke. I didn't want a 2-stroke pump, so you don't have to mix the gas ahead of time. I'll do like the 3 rows in front of the camera, all the way out to one of the peach trees, and come back and do them double. But look how quick I'm moving from to each one. That pump has truly been a blessing. Okay, it's 20 minutes later. I just checked the camera. I've put out about half. We got just about 150 gallons of water left. I've done about 3/4 of the orchard. And so I think it's reasonable to say that I can do it all in about 30 minutes. That's coming out here with a full tank, 275 gallons. Most of these totes are going to be 275. There are some smaller ones, and I think there are some bigger ones that I think do 375 gallons. I think the most common tote is 275 gallons, and I'm putting that out in 30 minutes, which is about 10 gallons per minute. And each one of these plants, the blueberries and the trees, because I've done the trees pretty far up there. I think I've got 3 trees left or 2 trees left to do. But each basin has been filled twice. I fill it once, let it sink in, and then come back over it. And that'll hold it over for about a week or so. We've got a bumper blueberry crop. This is the 2nd year of these blueberry bushes. And without water, they wouldn't have produced, they wouldn't have made berries, and likely would have killed the plants. So relatively small investment in money and time to keep our orchard alive. So with a 50-foot hose, I've been able to do over half of the orchard. And now I'm going to move the tractor up the hill, and we'll see if the pump will stay running. I do this, and I would say 75 to 90% of the time, the pump won't stay running. And that's because it has some sort of safety feature that if it tilts too much or rocks too much, that it'll shut itself off. I guess it would lose oil pressure or something. I don't know. I haven't researched it enough, but I do know it doesn't travel well. I'll leave the mic here and we'll see if it shuts off. it's still running. So I can't believe the pump stayed running. That is the second time it stayed running when I've moved the trailer in about, I don't know, 40, 50 times of using it. I can't believe how much I use this thing. I didn't realize how valuable it would be when I first built it, and upgrading it with the gas-powered pump has just changed our watering game out here. And like I said, I'm gonna get water out here that's plumbed in and piped out here, but that could be a year or two from now. And if I wasn't able to water remotely, then we would lose this orchard, and you just can't predict when you're gonna have a wet year or a dry year. So relatively inexpensive, very easy to put one of these things together, and you don't need a tractor and a trailer and 3-point hitches and hydraulics and all that. It can be on back of like a utility trailer that you use to go to Lowe's to get lumber or something, and you could tow it around your property with your your SUV or your pickup. And that's what I want to get to. I want to get to a dedicated water trailer and maybe get a bigger tote or get 2 of these totes on it so I don't have to refill as often. We got some happy trees and blueberry plants. I mean, just look at all the blueberries on here that are appreciating that water and will soon be in my breakfast cereal bowl. But I did some quick math, and 275 gallons divided by the number of plants and trees we have out here is about 8 gallons per basin or per plant or tree. The trees got a little bit more than the blueberries, but 8 gallons was the average, and that will hold them over for about a week. I would say 5 to 7 days. And in the 10-day forecast, at the very end, we're showing a 40% chance of rain. So I'm probably going to have to do this one more time before it rains. So that'll wrap up today's video, folks. So until next time, remember, life's short, tractor hard, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.